I've noticed there are some ideas that seem to circulate in skincare communities that are pretty dangerous. Hello my friends, and welcome back to the rabbit hole. Today's video is going to be my third video in the skincare techniques series, which is enough for us to finally make a playlist, so I will have that linked in the cards as well as the description box below. But really quickly before we get into this video, I do want to let you guys know that I'm collecting your comments on all of these videos, and I'm going to add a fifth video that will be answering your questions about skincare techniques. So if you have any more, drop them in the comment section below and I will answer them 2 weeks from now. With this video being such an important topic, I want to make sure to reiterate that I am not a dermatologist, nor am I your dermatologist, which, as we've discussed on this channel, is very important to recognize the difference there. However, I do think there are some pretty basic concepts that I think can apply to most people, and more importantly than that, again, it's these concepts that I've seen regurgitated in the communities that I'm worried about, and I wish people would stop saying these things. Let's go ahead and jump into it. I am going to start with a couple of pretty basic ideas, but I think they're important. That's why they're going first. However, if you want to skip them, there are always timestamps in the description box below. Topic number one is patch testing, which I know some people are yawning about, right? Patch testing doesn't sound exciting. Nobody thinks it sounds exciting. When you get a new product in the mail, do you want to try it? Or do you want to take a tiny amount and put it in a specific spot on your face and wait to see how it's looking 48 hours later? No. You want to try the product immediately. I know. But patch testing is so incredibly important, and I sit here telling you this as somebody who has not always been good about this and learned the hard way. I thought cleansers were completely innocuous up until a couple of months ago. You know, they're only on your skin for what, a maximum of 2 minutes? How much damage can they do? Well, as I learned, a lot. They can cause you to have welts on your forehead that last for 48 hours. When I'm doing patch tests, I do up to 3 products at a time. Why not? Get them all over with. And what I'll do is I'll take a small amount of product and put it right up under my jawline here. Hopefully I blended my foundation well enough for today's video. Anyway, so I'll have one product here, and one product over here, and then I'll monitor what happens over the next 48 hours. If it is a cleanser, wash it off after 60 to 120 seconds. If it's a sheet mask, cut off a little tiny portion, apply it to your skin and remove it after the recommended time, and then monitor that area for the 48 hours. I want you guys to know about something really interesting and important later in this video that happens to me when I do this patch testing. So like I said, I do put the product right up under my jaw, but occasionally if I do have a problem with that product, I will break out right here on my face. What's going on here is something called migration, where the product is actually kind of moving within your skin. So do know, great if I break out here, I can hide that pretty easily by tensing my neck muscles. You'll tense those muscles. But not so much if it's right up along my face, and yeah, that does happen sometimes. Tip number 2 is one that is so intuitive that I'm sure at least some of you have thought of this and are doing it, but I think it's also a very helpful tip, so we're gonna share it in today's video, and that is to every so often sanitize your skincare collection. There is one con with this tip, and that is that we are not living in the time where you could buy a giant bottle of isopropyl alcohol for 84 cents. Instead, you have to pay $4. This is just a product I picked up at CVS that is 75% isopropyl alcohol, and I will admit it's convenient to have it in the spray bottle, although I always have several spray bottles around for refills if I'm able to find the now very rare bottles of isopropyl alcohol. But anyway, all I do with this is I just occasionally spray down all of my products. I often feel like we're so careful about what's inside of our little skincare jars, our skincare bottles, but we are often touching the outside of products, and it's just a generally good idea to occasionally make sure the outsides of those containers are clean. Tip number 3 is where we're really getting into some of the things that scare me. Tip number 3 is this: please do not use Neosporin on any acne or any popped pimples. Do not do this. Let me give you guys some backstory here. Every so often I see these posts go up, I see people praise Neosporin as the best acne treatment that they've ever found. This is some wildly scary advice, but we need to break down why it's working out for people and why you shouldn't be doing this, and of course your alternatives. So Neosporin, as advertised, does contain your antibiotic ingredients along with cocoa butter. Now here's the deal. When you apply that to a pimple or to a popped pimple, what's going on is those antibiotics could help to fight any bacteria, and you have a lot of occlusive action going on with the cocoa butter. The catch is, while those antibiotics may seem to work in the short term, you could be putting yourself at serious risk for something called antibiotic resistance. I'm sure by now most of you have heard of it. And this is not something that you want to experience. You know, again, if your acne is really out of control, if over-the-counter treatments are not working, you need to go to a dermatologist, and they may prescribe you antibiotics, but they're also going to prescribe them in a limited quantity. This is not a long-term treatment. But what about that occlusive action that I was just talking about? Well, it turns out that's actually a lot of the reason that Neosporin is working out so well for some people. Now, in fairness, I've seen some people step up to the plate here in terms of saying, whoa, this is not a good idea, but let me offer you a substitute, and that is Vaseline. What's interesting about that is I often see people state this exactly. Neosporin is just Vaseline with antibiotics. It's actually not. It is cocoa butter, but Vaseline is a powerful occlusive, so this could potentially work. Not everybody likes to use Vaseline, so I do have some other alternative options for you here. Let's do this one first because it's by far the most affordable. This is the Butters Hygienics Zit Zapper Anti-Acne Face Cream. It is a very, very thick face cream that you can indeed put all over your face, but I actually like it specifically as a spot treatment because it is such a very occlusive product, and it also contains 7% tea tree oil. Now, tea tree oil is not going to be for everybody. Some people are able to use it and some people are not. However, if you are able to use it, it has antibacterial properties, much like those antibiotics, but without the concern of antibiotic resistance. And for another Vaseline alternative, and I hope this one is still available because I did notice it's not on the Ulta website, but this is the Peach and Lily K-Beauty Rescue Balm. It was made to feel very much like Vaseline without actually containing any of those mineral oil-based type of ingredients. And it really does work well. It is a very, very occlusive product. No extra ingredients that will help with acne, but again, it's very possible that what is helping you with that wound healing is the occlusive layer in itself. Next up is another really, really important point related to retinol. I've got my Rock Retinol Correction Eye Cream right here. I want to make sure we talk about applying this safely because I think a conversation that is often missing around the topic of retinol is that retinol can cause some very serious side effects to the eyes themselves. I've seen a few people applying, in particular, the retinol serums or the retinol eye creams way too close to the eye. Now, do you remember in the first point of this video where I said that when I apply my products in patch testing down here, they often migrate and I'll break out right here? That happens with your skincare, which is why there is zero reason for you to be working your retinol products into your lash line, for example. And not only is there no point in doing this because the product does migrate, but it can be very dangerous. Retinol is actually associated with dry eyes. And once again, I will have a paper linked in the description box below in the event that you want to read more on this topic, but I'll also tell you, unfortunately, anecdotally, I have gotten retinol into my eyes before, and it is extremely painful. Out of all of the skincare products that I've ever gotten into my eyes, it is by far the worst. So kind of like my patch testing example, I got a lot of live and learn experiences. Be careful with retinol, and no, again, you do not need to be taking it close to your eyes. If you don't believe me, try this patch testing thing. It will really convince you. My next point is to know your own limits with actives. So I want to make sure that you know when you purchase a product, on the back of the bottle or on the packaging itself, it will tell you how often to use that product. However, in the case of, let's say, AHA containing products, know that that product is assuming in the directions that you do not use other AHA products. So for example here, let's say you buy an AHA containing night serum and it tells you to use that every night. But then you get pretty hyped up because of all of the skincare recommendations all over YouTube and you decide to also buy an AHA mask that may say use 3 times a week. Please do not use that mask 3 times a week and then the AHA serum every single night. You are most likely going to over-exfoliate your skin. And not only that, but know that AHA usage is relative. Some people are able to use a much higher percentage of AHA. Some people are able to use AHA much more frequently. But again, because a lot of this is a live and learn situation, I've found for myself that AHA products work best for me no more than 3 times per week. But again, that is my skin, and some people are able to use an AHA containing product daily. And I'm jealous of those people. Am I jealous, or am I saving more money in the long run? And my final tip for this video is to be consistent with your SPF regardless of when you applied your actives. This one is so wild to me. I see people say things like, oh, well, I used AHAs last night, so I have to make sure to wear sunscreen today. No. You don't have to make sure to wear sunscreen today because you make sure to wear sunscreen because the sun is always out during the day. I gotta give the sun at least some credit here. That sun is a reliable ball of light. This whole notion of your skin being extra sensitive for X period of time, that's not really how skincare works. It actually stays in your skin for varying lengths of time depending on the active that you're talking about. So as a precautionary measure, always wear sunscreen. I was having this conversation with one of my close friends about common sense, and I was like, is this too common sense? I mean, everybody knows this, right? And she was like, I don't know. I'm not so sure about common sense. Ever since people have been refusing to wear masks, I'm starting to think it might actually be uncommon sense. But yes, super simple, feels like common sense, but maybe it is uncommon sense. Just always wear sunscreen. Not if then. This is not some programming language over here. Always wear sunscreen. That is all I have for today's video. If you found it helpful, please make sure to like and subscribe and stick around for the rest of this series, and I will see you all next time.